Okay. If you can remember, we're talking about story elements. We're doing a basic review unit on these important elements. So then we get into our novel unit, we'll be able to interpret the text and really read the text for meaning. Okay, those four story elements that we're discussing right now are characters, setting, plot, and theme. These elements work together to create a story. So we're going to break down characters first. And we know that the characters are the people, animals, and creatures that act out the story. The next thing we're going to do to kind of add to that is discuss character traits. Character traits are the things that make up the character, they make the character who they are. A lot of times, authors will tell you directly this character is such and such, or this character is an adventurous person. But most of the time, the author will show you these traits by it could be from one, the author may have you to infer based on the character's actions. That's the things that the characters do in the story. So just I always use Three Little Pigs for an example for some reason. Okay. Um let's suppose that we're reading the story and we're on Pig 1 and the text reads, well, Pig 1 made his house out of straw. We can infer from that character. We can draw our own conclusions about that character based on the facts that the author gives us. So we might say that, well, maybe that pig is lazy, or maybe he isn't very smart. Okay. And my next question for you would be, well, how do you know? What in the text tells us this? And you will go back and say, well, the pig built his house out of straw. And anyone that would build a house out of straw, I mean, they don't want to work hard, or they just don't know any better. Okay. So from that, we're inferring about the character based on the character's actions right here. Another way that an author will give clues about the traits of a character is through conversation. And excuse my writing because I'm writing with my finger. Conversation between other characters. So you kind of know, like, when characters they talk about each other just like people. Okay. And we can read what these characters say about our main character or about other characters in the text and conclude what type of character we're dealing with. Okay? The thing about character traits that you have to remember is you have to pretend with everything in your mind that your characters are real people that you have to break down to understand. That's where my character traits come in. We use the words good and bad all the time. Good, bad, happy, and sad. But because you're in middle school now, we need to expand our vocabulary. And so, what you have in front of you on the screen is a list of sample character traits. Are there more character traits than this? Yes. Are these all the character traits that you could possibly use? No. These are sample character traits. And what this sample is going to do is going to give you a way to describe your characters without just saying good, bad, happy, and sad. Now you have words like adventurous, unafraid, alert, disrespectful, inconsiderate, satisfied. You have these traits to use. As a matter of fact, and you're gonna be mad, whenever we're talking about characters, I don't want you to use the word good, bad, happy, or sad. No, because we're gonna use big words because we're in the big grade now and not use those small character traits. So, what you're going to do is you're going to read a small text and we're going to use that text to we're going to use the text and the character traits to break down our character. What traits does our character possess? And character trait is not that difficult to do. The hardest part would probably be proving or showing the evidence for the trait that you choose. But I mean, as long as you have evidence to support what you say, no one can tell you that you're wrong. And I want you to remember that. As long as you have evidence to support it, I can't tell you you're wrong. Whoever's grading your test can't tell you you're wrong. But the evidence and the answers always have to match. Okay? So again, we're looking at character traits. These are some sample character traits. Um, Authors reveal characters in two main ways. One is through the actions of the character, the direct actions that you're seeing, and two is conversations that other characters have about the character, about the main character. So all these things work together to create characters. And I think that's it. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask before the activity. If you need to replay the video, you can always replay the video. If you get home tomorrow or tonight and you realize I don't remember nothing from class, come back and play this video. If you get access to a computer today and you have free time, come back and play this video. It's always here for you to use whenever you need to. If you have any ideas, any videos that you want me to make, anything that you need me to go over again or make a simpler video, I can do that too.